It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means.
What?
It's Wednesday night.
What?
It's Wednesday night.
Give me a hell yeah. What? What?
Yo, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of The Lounge. I'm your host, Bear, obviously joined by the super celeb, Cousin Rufus. Rufus, how are you?
I'm good. We are live, unscripted, unleashed, and not rehearsed.
That's right. That's just the way we like it. So, guys, we got a lot of context to go over tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm excited. Rufus is excited. We've bickered all day long about this stuff. So, I guess let's hop right into it, man. Where do you want to start? You want to start with Clash?
Clash what?
Clash in Paris?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Clash in Paris. That was
unbelievable.
What can we say about it?
Well, I think we should start out with giving the truth. I give it a 5.0, man.
I rated the show 5.8. To me, it was more like a Raw or SmackDown version of a PLE. So, I mean, it was just mediocre, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of, I don't know. There was so much
I rated.
stuff there that, I don't know. There's just things that could have been way, way better, in my opinion. We'll get more into that later. So, one thing I want to talk about, Rufus, is Roman Reigns showing up, right? You got Roman Reigns, you got Bronson Reed. Roman shows up with the black and red Ula Fala, gifts and memories of the late Afa and Sika. That had to be really, really cool, and I got to tell you, I bombed all the picks on this main event, or this card, and I picked Bronson Reed to win.
You usually do.
I get it. But the moment they said the Ula Falas were there and why they were there, I knew then it was too late because I posted my pick. I couldn't go back and sneak and change it.
Well, I have my opinions. I think Roman winning that match made no sense to me.
Agree 100%.
And don't get me wrong, I get it. He is a big superstar. However, to say, "Oh my gosh, he is out indefinitely." He's not out. Let's call a spade here. We all know what he's off doing. He's off filming a movie along with Cody Rhodes, and this is a pet peeve of mine. Why would you take a guy and allow him to win a match just so he's going to be gone filming a movie when you could have continued, let Bronson win that match, kept the shoes, maybe even took another pair of shoes of
100%,
his,
yeah.
and let him go off and do his movie and come back and have some beef unsettled. Now, I get that Breaker speared him when he was trying to sign the shoes and give those away, so that's going to probably set up a Braun Breaker Roman Reigns match down the line.
But you still squash the credibility of Bronson Reed.
Correct. That you're trying to build a character on.
Correct.
I don't understand it. No different than we've had a discussion with Cody Rhodes of he's been off having a baby, filming a movie.
And I didn't even know he was filming until you told me.
He's
I thought it was
filming
a baby.
movie. He's Street Fighter is what he's filming. Or both of them go film this movie. But you take a guy, you allow him to win this title, and then you allow him to go film a movie for a month or two. To me, it makes no sense. He shouldn't get to leave with the title.
No,
because gave someone else that opportunity.
Well, or with John running back, being a babyface, it could have built even bigger. Like, the list goes on and on and on, and we'll rant after a while. But damn, I mean, who's writing this stuff? It's hard to get through these podcasts today and sit and spend all the hours watching wrestling that we're watching, and you can't figure out why they're thinking what they're thinking. And it's not like, oh, well, we want to guess. It doesn't make sense, man. Like, it doesn't make sense. But, yeah, why advertise? And that's the thing. We talked about this earlier. Why advertise the freaking movie? At least for the most part, Vince kept the shit quiet. You thought they were hurt. They shot their shot. You found out later on, and guess what? You really forgot about it because you thought they were hurt. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Better storylines could have been written. So I got a feeling the Destroyer could probably write a better storyline than what's being written today. So.
I agree.
So that's my take on Clash of Pairs. I don't have much to say about it. I wasn't impressed with it.
Well, I'll tell you what there's to be impressed about with it, Rufus. Did you see the Wyatt Six show up and the fans show out for Bray Wyatt, rest his soul?
Yeah, don't you got a clip of it?
I don't. I don't have one available.
Oh, you didn't post it.
I did not.
Why?
Fear of time constraints.
Oh.
But just to see the Eiffel Tower set up, to have it lit up, when they pan out and they showed the whole thing, like, oh man, it was really
fireflies.
It was really neat to see it.
It was.
Really was. So, moving on from that. Oh, and they retained the titles, by the way, which good for them. I heard that you seen a little hesitation in the Street Profits during that match. Almost looked like a little tag team bickering. I read a rumor, don't know if it's true, but it is a rumor that maybe Montez Ford might be turning heel and going solo. We have to stay tuned and see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So your next match was obviously Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. What's your thoughts? Great match, wasn't it? That thing was put together.
I give it a 2.0. I've seen better high school wrestling matches better than what those two put on. So I didn't care for it. I didn't understand the thing, but there was a lot of, I know we'll get into that later, but there was a lot of issues with that match, and I don't know if it's a Becky Lynch issue or if it was a Bella issue. So.
And Chad, if you're watching this, if you're watching, first of all, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show. Do you think, if you watched it, that it was a Becky issue or a Bella issue? Let me know in the chat.
My opinion, I think it was more of a Bella issue because she's been out of the ring little while. But, that's my opinion. So.
Well, why? Why?
Maybe they just weren't in sync with each other.
Tell them the truth, Rufus. Why?
Why what?
Because I'm hanging on the man's nuts.
That's not true.
What the hell it ain't? That's the greatest heel going.
Becky Lynch, in my opinion, right now, is the best heel in WWE.
Nah. There ain't nothing worse than a woman running around acting like she's a damn man.
Well,
no offense. When the man comes around.
She does have some in-ring performance issues, but as far as crowd reaction and the way she presents herself, name another heel right now that is better than what she's doing.
Like, can they be out for surgery right now?
No. We're not going to talk about
Solo Sikoa.
No. No.
We're going to talk some more about this later. Obviously, the old ticker talk kind of blew up today on this stuff, and I'll get into that a little bit later on. However, I will tell you that there's a lot of people that are not fans of what's happening. And it's a two-sided sword, Rufus, like you said, because she's doing her job.
I get it, and I understand, and a lot of people hate Becky Lynch right now, but that's part of being a heel, right?
You know what comes to my mind? When I think Becky Lynch and I see you blowing her ego up, I think Trick Williams. You know why? Whoop that Trick. No, I give the devil their due, man. I always do.
She does have some in-ring performance that she needs to work on. I'm not saying that she's a talented wrestler. I'm saying as a person that is playing a heel character, I think she's doing the best that the WWE has right now. She's doing the best.
I think that's part of my problem is she's actually over-talented and she's not displaying it. Chat, somebody on here, let me know if I'm right or wrong. I'm pretty sure Becky Lynch is part of the 4 horsewomen coming out of NXT. Bayley, Charlotte, her, and Alexa Bliss. I love Becky Lynch pre-Rollins. like the last kicker. I liked that Becky Lynch. She was motivated. She had the crowd. It's not just about having a baby face, because I don't think it's all about baby face. But you're right. There's an old saying that goes that to know when you've made it in pro wrestling as a heel, that's exactly it. It takes some work to get people to throw stuff at you or to get so emotionally attached that they want to cuss you out. Everybody's going to cheer for the good guy. But I don't remember what wrestler it was, but that's what they said. To know you made it is when you're a heel and they're booing your ass out of the building. That's all I got on it.
So with Becky, let's move into Raw, Monday Night Raw.
Whoa. Let's talk about the actual match of the night.
What match of the night? There was a match
Rusev and Sheamus.
It was okay.
Although everyone's tired of seeing it,
they did put on a decent match. Hopefully they got this out of their system.
I hope so.
It wasn't a bad match. It was okay, but again, it's the same thing over and over and over. But
well, at least they
did put a decent match on.
It leads me into another speculated rumor that I read, that what is next and what was the purpose of Rusev winning, because it seems like a lot of talent does not want to work with him. I cannot confirm that. It's just a rumor that I read that I will be looking further into. So anyways, go ahead.
So with the Becky Lynch thing, I'd like to move into Monday Night Raw. And Raw this week, lowest rating I've given it so far, 4.0. I give it a 4.0, grade D. Raw and SmackDown is the same episode that we end up with and have seen for months at this point. So if you've seen one Raw, you've seen the last 10 Raws of the last months, because they're the same.
I won't disagree with that.
And the same thing with SmackDown. So to me, I don't know what's going on, but I have a hard time staying entertained with them anymore.
Same, I do. And not to deviate from the plan, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Right there is where it's at. I want to give a huge shout out to Dom for pulling in the win. You did it.
He cheated.
No, he didn't cheat. He didn't cheat.
Sure he did.
He didn't do anything wrong.
He had Americano come out there.
I didn't see him talk to Americano. What I can tell you is he walked away with that belt. Good for you, Dom. I love you, man. Let's go.
Well, that is part of his thing right now, is lie, cheat, and steal. Well, and I did say I hope he keeps it up. But
I'm all in.
If you've got to cheat to keep the title, then I guess that's what you got to do.
It is what it is.
Which I know we've got a little segment on this rant thing that's going to happen, which you'll see, which to me was an absolute disaster. But whatever. Moving in with the Becky Lynch thing, slapping CM Punk. At first, I was a little discouraged, I guess, to CM Punk allowing her to do that. Because, back in my day when wrestling was hot, and we'll call that the Attitude Era, there was a guy named Stone Cold Steve Austin that this probably wouldn't have happened to. He would have gave her a good old stunner right in the middle of the mat. And, we watched some videos today of him doing old Stephanie McMahon that way.
It was sure great, wasn't it?
But I don't think today's culture could handle that situation.
I agree. And there's so many talking points tonight on the show, guys, where you, the viewer, can get interactive here and hit the email, the Wrestling Lounge 25@gmail. It's on the screen. What would you have done if Becky would have been slapping you around like that? Would you have been afraid to break the sensitive status quo today and drop her on her chin? Or would you have let it happen and,
But there's a different storyline that's going to be probably played here. And the rumor is, there's another rumor, probably going to happen is you will see little AJ Lee make her return to WWE.
Little psycho.
And, the storyline I think that we've come up with that's probably going to be played out of this is she's going to return. You don't put your hands on my husband, and probably what will happen will be, as you said, more than likely what we call a couples match. So you'll have CM Punk, AJ with Becky and Seth, and
Correct.
it'll be a couples match. And
Now, do you make it for the belts?
absolutely.
You could run this storyline through to WrestleMania. You
But
could
the problem I have with this is is it fair? Do you allow CM Punk and AJ to walk away with the titles at first, or do you run this a little longer and run it into the ground like they normally do and just continue to run a couples match week after week after week? I don't know. In my opinion, for her to make her return to walk away with the title doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It does. And I had somebody bring that up today, and it does have some grain to it. It's like play the role right because you literally just let go of Cross and Scarlett and some other talent like that. Now you're bringing this in. It's been a decade. It's a 10-year comeback.
However,
You know the crowd's going to go wild.
but for what? Here's my take on AJ, and you'll probably disagree with it. She was not that good back in her day. Coming in today's market with the women division that we have in WWE and NXT, she's going to get circles wrestled around her in the ring today. The reason why she looked good back then, you didn't have a women's division like you do now. You've got a women's division that is probably going to, in my opinion, going to walk all over that girl. She's, I think it's a mistake for her to come back into this, but
Well,
we'll see.
it might be a mistake for her to come back into it, but look at what's happening here, okay? Look at the dynamic that's taken place, and let's go back. Stephanie Vacure. We don't have an opponent for you. Oh, horse shit! You're building this thing for WrestlePalooza to get the views, to get the buys, to get the switch over to ESPN. Now all of a sudden it's we're gonna smack CM Punk around. Why? The dude is on fire. And what would make anything more on fire than what he's got going? Bring his wife in to defend her guy. And let me guess, she's gonna come in at WrestlePalooza, just like we think Lesnar is. Okay.
Well, they got to make a big spectacle out of this,
Well, I
right?
would say for $6,400 a ticket on the front row, you ought to do something. I will not be there, just so we're clear. However, I think she was a good talent, a good wrestler. She played a great psycho back then. Is it the right move? I don't know. Time will tell. Maybe we'll check out, season 4 of Unreal and see what the deal was. I don't know. But I agree with some of what the commenters had to say. Don't ruin the angle. Run it the right way. You could lead this to WrestleMania for a couples match for the belts. Let CM Punk finally get his WrestleMania moment with the belt this time, not a 5-minute job. That's my opinion on it.
Well, and that, my opinion, was the Clash in Paris deal with the Fatal 4-Way. I think it should have just been CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso fighting for a top contender to go against Seth Rollins.
That's not a bad spot either.
I mean, whoever wins that match gets to face Seth. You could have done that and moved it to WrestlePalooza and had another big match of CM Punk versus Seth for the belt there, But I, again, probably running a different angle with her if she comes back. That's probably the angle they're going to run. But again, I don't write this stuff. I just sit back and criticize it. So
I would like a fair crack. I'd like a quarter. Either 3 months or 4 months. Me and you getting to write the angle.
I'm sure there's people out there that would probably criticize our
I'm sure
theories.
there are too.
But I do, speaking of criticize, I want to criticize someone's LA Knight. This, I spoke to you about this. I think, in my opinion, LA Knight has a perfect opportunity right now to turn heel.
Okay.
And what I mean by this is he could use this opportunity to change his character dramatically. And we've had discussions about this, and he could use the frustration and blame and build that I've been screwed out of championship opportunities
Oh
or
yeah.
championships. He needs to focus on his success and mock the fans. You know, uh, he he could target baby faces with this, mocking the audience,
And
and
just
by
disruption.
correct and justify his actions by saying I've been held back, the company's held me back. You know, we've had. I think it's a perfect opportunity for this guy to change the dynamic of. He probably don't have much longer to go, right? He's.
In his
I mean,
40s,
yeah. I mean, what 5, 6 years maybe left, if
maybe.
that.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's if he doesn't get an injury. I mean,
but the problem I think I would have is a successful heel turn relies on a compelling storyline and development. We've seen how the John Cena thing went, right? I mean, we just flicked the pickle on the wall and said let's try it. It
old
didn't
pickle
work, and
flicking.
everyone's forgot about how bad that was. But a heel needs to be a mix. I think you take this guy and you run him a heel and you mix him of The Rock, Ric Flair, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. You lean more towards Rick's cockiness and a little bit of the Miz self-importance.
Combine that with The Rock's mic,
Correct. He's
Austin's
got
ass
decent
whooping.
mic skills. He's not terrible on the mic. So,
Well, we did have a pretty extensive conversation about that, and just to expand the horizon a little bit of that with you in front of the cameras, could you're onto a great thing, man, and already Kevin Nash and some others has ripped him as a gimmick. You're ripping off Austin and Rock. If Rock and Austin had a baby, let's think about this for a second, like we talked about. Imagine if he takes a dark turn. And imagine, it's notable, it's noticeable. They're seeing it. He's interrupting stuff. He's acting out. He's going on. Pierce is getting involved, or whatever, whichever brand he's on. I don't remember at the moment. But let's say they do a check-in on him, and it's a vignette. It's part of the show, right?
they don't do many vignettes anymore, though.
No, they don't. But think about this, if you will. Imagine if the GM from the respective show, okay, well, I got to talk to him. We're going to figure out what's going on. He's just, there's a lot wrong here. Wrestlers being concerned, et cetera, et cetera. Imagine for a second and think about how you would feel. How would you feel as a wrestling fan, as a person, as anything? The general manager shows up to LA Knight's hotel room, knock on the door kind of cracks open a little bit. Okay, what's going on here? You open the door, and all you see is Broken Skull IPA cans everywhere.
He turned into an alcoholic?
Did he turn into an alcoholic? No, that's not the dynamic I would take.
Oh.
I would think for a whole big whopping second, who's been here? Who drinks the Broken Skull IPAs? Steve Austin. And to your credit, imagine the buildup of this. The buildup of this. Like, you don't show Austin. You don't do that. You just get an Austin-esque. Okay? Let's say you run this into the Royal Rumble. Or whatever. Royal Rumble. I mean, you could run this into the Royal Rumble and show it. Bring out the black F-150 with the 316 on it and the skull. Show that truck dropping LA Knight off at the front door. DTA, big boy, go make your mark. It would explode. LA Knight.
Yeah. And you don't even have, as we talked about this, you don't even have to have Stone Cold there. You just have those bits and pieces of Easter eggs of he's talking to Stone Cold, or Stone Cold's giving him pointers behind closed doors. They do have Easter eggs in the storylines, and talk about this just for a split second. What's her name? The witch.
Nikki Cross.
Is, if you've noticed, you can notice her in the background appearing on some of this stuff.
Yeah, she
And,
was on
you
the
know,
staircase.
so, and you catch her on, I think it was the trailer, or
Yep,
you catch a shadow of her
correct.
of standing there. So they do Easter eggs, but I think that would be great, and it don't have to be, or I wouldn't use The Rock for anything else since he jacked up the Stone or the John Cena situation. But I think turning this guy heel is a perfect opportunity right now to use the frustration, the disrespect of getting screwed out of title shots after title shots. It's my time. It's my time. It's a perfect opportunity to turn him into a heel and use that, change the whole dynamic of him.
100%.
So
Because
that's
I would love to see Kevin Owens take this approach, especially with the closeness and the bond with Austin. But we're just uncertain with Kevin, man.
yeah,
Kevin,
you
if
don't
you,
know if he's coming back.
we hope you're
So,
coming back, Kevin, and we wish you a speedy recovery.
but that's my take on LA Knight. I think it'd be a great opportunity for him and a character to kind of change the dynamic, change the way things are going for him,
Sure.
and use him as a cocky, arrogant, like I said, a mix between The Rock, Stone Cold, and Ric Flair. So,
Woo!
that's my take that I think they should do on LA Knight.
Correct.
I'd love to get some other opinions. You know, I know people like him as a babyface, but sometimes people need to change, man. So,
100%.
uh, real quick, we're going to talk about some uh, ratings and AEW real quick.
Anything at all about Logan and Cena?
You don't want to get involved in that, do you? Because
Here we go.
you're
Okay.
you're not a fan of that, right? I'm
Well,
a big Logan Paul fan. He is the he is the future of this business. If it wasn't from him, they wouldn't have Netflix or
I'm
ESPN.
taking applications for people that want to be broadcast partners on the show.
Now, that's a hateful
I'm
thing
about
to
had it with
say.
this shit.
Logan Paul is a talented individual, and in my opinion, I he is probably the next biggest heel that you've got.
I agree. All because you're buying his salt water.
I don't buy his salt water. You have it in your fridge. We
That's
went over
because
this
I got a little kid that don't
last.
know any
Oh
better.
yeah, blame Owen. Okay.
I will.
Anyways, I enjoy Logan Paul. If John Cena didn't see something in that kid, he would have never put him in his final farewell matches. My opinion.
I don't disagree.
Now, John John should have lost that match. He should have bowed down and lost it to help push this kid a little bit farther. So,
I won't disagree. If I wrote the show, Lesnar would have interfered in this.
yeah, I'm not saying Logan should have won. I think you could have done interference or
Well, I
disqualification.
mean, what's the big rule, man? You're building up what? WrestlePalooza is a shoot event to go head to head with AEW. So if you're going to have a shoot event and you're going to in fact have Lesnar there, you have Lesnar run interference. Even if he beats the shit out of both of them, who cares? Lay Paul over him for the cover. Now you've built that dynamic for Indianapolis, man. You've built that show, sell more seats, whatever. And
Well, here's what I don't understand. If that's going to be the card, John Cena and him at WrestlePalooza, and I'm talking about Brock, what what buildup have you got other than the one time he showed up so far?
you don't. I mean, you don't. And then what you hear is, well, this is what Cena wanted. Keep that shit to yourself. Like, don't let it all out of the bag. Build the storyline, man. What happened here? And people can hate Vince all they want, but by God, man, Vince could build the storyline. And here's the thing: is Vince had Bruce Pritchard, Michael Hayes, all them guys with him.
Here's a question: do
Build.
you think there's too many PLEs right now?
I don't think so.
Well, and the reason why I ask is, do they have enough time to build that storyline, or to me it seems like they just continue to rush, rush. I'll give you 2 weeks, build the storyline, and then we're into a PLE.
I could definitely see where you're going at with that. I really could. I think And there again, you run into situations with repeat
Do
matches.
you think Brock will show up on SmackDown Friday night to help build the storyline? If that's the case, if that's what they're going to run into WrestlePalooza,
traditionally, it would have already been happening to really set this
I get it.
storyline on fire. The way it's been going, I would say you're probably looking at the SmackDown before the show.
Or are they just using Brock Lesnar for WrestlePalooza to try to sell seats and try to, oh, we got to take away from the AEW stance?
They may be.
I mean,
I don't know.
it doesn't matter what you put his name on. He's going to sell tickets, right?
Correct.
I mean, I'm not a Brock fan.
Oh,
so,
I am, baby.
But I'm a Logan Paul fan. Next future GOAT. Anyways. So, that's my take. You wanted to ask, you got it. What do you expect out of it? What was your expectation?
I think
You know my feelings.
I think there again you have the mega heel and the mega superstar. I think the match was good.
But you saw John Cena call the spots.
You did. It's going to happen. I mean, I get it. Maybe we should prepare for what the next phase in pro wrestling is with Unreal, with the spot calling, with the I got to look at the ref when I'm knocked out to see when he's going to hit the 3. It pisses me off every week. It gets old, man. It's so stupid. Like, I love WWE, man. Don't get me wrong. I love the product. I love the roster. But damn, who's writing it and why is nobody having a pep talk about the angles? I don't understand it. I'll rant later.
Yeah, you got your own segment on that. So.
What you got next?
AEW.
Oh!
So AEW airs tonight. And we're going to go real quick over the card and something we went over today, which is some ratings.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Real quick, AEW card tonight, I think, in my opinion, I think it'll be a decent card. You got Hangman.
Oh, and AEW?
You just interrupted me, and that's
don't
ever interrupt me again.
Not a sponsor, but could be, Tony.
You have Hangman, Kenny Omega, Speedball versus Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, and Young Bucks. I think that's going to be a good match. And I know you're going to want to watch this one. Windsor says versus Mercedes for the TBS Championship.
Oh, take the belt.
I know Mercedes is your favorite one, so...
Don't get me wrong. Mercedes, Sasha, fire-ass hot. Love the chick, I do. But the ego, gloating, all that stuff. Okay, there again, we're going to run it back with Becky Lynch.
It's not her fault. She's talented.
Bullshit. She's doing her job at selling the heat, the heel. Okay, I get it. Windsor, you have one mother-freaking job to do tonight. Get the belt. That's it. Now, getting into the ratings. Yeah, I got to tell you, first of all, on the way home today, Rufus, I was informed that Tony Khan may have moved a chess piece dynamically in a great direction, might I add.
What do you do?
Well, rumor has it that he has moved the start time for the AEW show in September in Indianapolis to 3 o'clock start time.
Why would he move it to 3 o'clock?
That way he's not running head-to-head with something that he simply can't beat at this time. It is going to take...
Smart move, though.
It is a very smart move, but it's going to take a whole lot more, in my opinion, than having Kenny Omega, Superstar, EVP, Young Bucks, Superstars, EVPs, to beat WWE. I mean...
But I don't think they're out to beat WWE. I think WWE is out to try to squash AEW,
well,
and AEW is just trying to
here's the thing.
alive.
Why would you squash anything? Why would you make a move to squash anything in life?
I wouldn't, because I think having AEW is good for business. Because competition, to me, is good for business.
Rufus, as fans, we do. As people that love wrestling, we do. As a competition, we want to get ahead of the people we compete with in our day-to-day life.
My question, why is WWE even worried about AEW?
Because they know they have the probability and the money to make the move. It's going to happen at some point. unless they squash them. Case in
What?
point, go ahead.
You talked about. Let's talk about what this segment's about, right? Ratings.
Correct.
So,
That's what I was getting ready to say.
so we're talking about why. Why does AEW and WWE want to try to get a
Well,
heads up? Well, we'll give you some prime examples. Okay.
week before last, AEW 565,000.
Their views are up.
Yep, they're up
Week
20,000.
after week, their viewership is going up.
So the week
Tony,
before
you're
last,
doing something right.
yeah, correct. The week before last, you're at 565,000 views. Last week, you're at 585,000. Now, your dynamic score was a .13, where I think SmackDown was .16, so you're within range. But then follow through with that into SmackDown, okay, 2 days after the show. SmackDown comes in at the lowest rating SmackDown's ever had with 1.1 million views. All right? And that's not to even consider the fact that Raw has dropped down to the 6th rank in Netflix.
But it also, if you go and you Google that, Raw has the lowest viewerships than it has since 2024.
Correct.
Why? My opinion,
People are getting sick of it.
I already told you. It is the same episode for the last months.
Correct.
They have no new storylines. It's the same crap. And I keep saying, are they running out of ideas? There's plenty of ideas you can do.
Sure.
I don't understand it. I don't know why they can't do something different. AEW, on the other hand, I went through this, was it last week's episode, the week before last? The difference between the two companies when it comes to talent and what they do on their episodes. My opinion, I've only been watching AEW for the last few weeks. They hold my attention 10 times better than what Raw or SmackDown
And
does.
some of that's probably because they're a little less filtered.
And it may be, but
I mean, you got MJF going at Hangman, MJF going at Hangman. You got,
but that wasn't the case
but
last
gosh,
week.
okay, look at last week. Look at Darby Allin's promo, man, painting with blood, the fire. I'm coming after you, Mox. I mean, yeah, outside and Tony
If this
Storm's.
was WWE, if this was a WWE segment, Hangman coming out to the ring, who would you had coming out to the ring to interfere him saying, I want my rematch. I want my rematch.
Yeah, Tony put a stop to that shit.
So what happened? You had a different dynamic come out and say,
Sure.
I want this title back in my possession.
Don Callis, yeah.
I want it. I don't know which superstar is going to take it from you yet. But if
I can show you how many we're going to use to do
correct.
it. Yeah, correct. Yeah, 100%.
So, but if this was a WWE segment, it would have been the same. It would have been the same match, same situation. I want my rematch. They change it up. Will he get a rematch? Sure, he'll get his rematch. He's got the little briefcase for the tablet. But that's my point.
And
they do
MJF,
things so much different.
He cut the promo. You cheer at my, whatever, at my bad spot. Yeah.
If you're not watching AEW, it's well worth a watch. And I get it with it. Maybe you can't afford all the subscriptions now you got to have to. Trust me, I'm feeling the pain just as well as the next guy having to. I may not pay for the ESP. Screw you, WWE. Anyways.
Well, let the numbers speak for it. Before we move to the rant, just let the numbers be what dictates the way you want to do this. I, as well, not a big AEW fan. I don't like the smut with Tony Storm. A lot of people do.
It's been calmed down a little bit.
Maybe
he watched the podcast.
Maybe he did. I will agree. It has been calmed down, which makes it a little bit more enjoyable, especially since I have a younger child at home that loves wrestling. But let the dynamic of the numbers speak for the company. They're not overly worried about crushing WWE. They're doing them. We talked about this for the last couple weeks. Now go back and look at the ratings. You're gaining. If they gain 20,000 tonight from last week, that puts them over 600,000, and they're on pace to crack 100,000 new views in a month.
I'm telling you, if this company could get on a major network, I think you'd see him skyrocket.
Very well.
I do.
Very well. Okay, so now we're going to jump into Bear's rant.
What is that?
Well, that's the best
that
I can.
you?
That's me. That's all I can come up with right now.
Bad day.
Raw. Now, I'm going to go through this in a timely fashion here. I got some clips to show, and I want to show you why. Like during Clash in Paris, I rated a 5-0. I said what I said. As I said, the old TikToker, it's starting to kick up a little bit, and I appreciate that. I do. This is about interaction with fans. Like we talked about in the video this morning, we work 55, 60 hours a week. We watch a minimum of about 10 hours of wrestling a week, and we're trying to put this thing together to interact with people and show the love and the criticizing of the business and what we think would make it better for us.
And you don't need a subscription.
You don't. You don't have to pay $22 a month or subscribe. You can subscribe right here on YouTube. It costs nothing. You can go send a follow on Instagram or TikTok. It costs nothing. Like, we want to talk to people about wrestling and enjoy what we're doing. So, during that ordeal, I had a guy who comments out and says, you know, what is it you guys are all wanting? I want you to explain because I'm genuinely asking a question. Great question, because I don't have a problem with that. However, when I respond to it and say, my concern as a fan is we're paying all this money to brand A and we're getting low quality work. I love the indie circuit. I love it. I go watch independent matches with Delaware County Championship Wrestling, DCCW, Ladies Man Mike King, Joey Owens, all the boys from WCWO. They have put on better matches than what I'm seeing the pros do or the big circuit guys. That to me is a huge detractor. It just is. I can pay $10 and walk in and get a seat. They interact with my kid. They don't bust your balls on pricing. And you have a good show right there local, okay? You asked for it. The rant's on. So I'm going to show you. Now, and it was like, well, so what do we want? Do we want Vince McMahon back? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not making fun of the guy for his question. My question had shit-ass nothing to do with Vince McMahon or WrestleMania or anything else. What it has to do with, I'm going to show you right here on the screen. I'm going to show you what it has to do with.
In the corner to Becky.
What do you call that?
Whose fault was that? Again,
Great question
was
for
it
everybody.
Becky Lynch missing her spot, or was it she? I don't know. But yeah, you know, that's part of that match to me was absolutely horrible.
If I dissect it in a quick second, let's go back and have a look. And I'll show you what I mean.
Becky.
Right here, guys. Whoop. There's two ways it can go. Becky wasn't in the right place at the right time, or Bella's got some ring rust and got overzealous and jumped too quick. It's got to be on both. That is a conversation that has to take place in Gorilla with Triple H saying, what the hell just happened? Like, it's that simple.
Well, that's not the only one.
It's not. Let's go to Rufus's favorite clip.
It counts. And keep in mind,
You're not even hitting.
Becky back in the...
What the f am I missing? Like, hello. Let's go
watch
back.
it again.
Now,
if in case you missed it.
Yeah, for anyone who may wonder what my 5.0 rating is about, I want you to look at the camera angle that you're offered, and there you go. Come on.
But we had this discussion, and my question to you was, and I'm going to make this quick, is it of lack of trust in your partner that you're in the ring with? And what I mean is, you know, I showed you, you know, if I'm going to take your head and I'm going to bang it against the announce table, I'm going to force it to a certain point and rely on you to do after that point, to rely on you to sell that spot.
Okay.
So is it a lack of trust, or is it just plain out the lack of care? And I just want the match to be over with.
One more time, I'm going to watch this, and I want you to look at Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. and you can probably think, what the just happened? Watch Michael Cole and Wade Barrett.
It counts. And keep in mind,
God.
Mickey's got a pin or submit the champ. He's got to get back.
Moving on from that, I want to get this wrapped up.
But a lot of that is camera angles too.
100%. I've been bitching about it for months. Like it's cameras. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get the one where it shows her
Let's
smacking.
shoot the next video.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, and this is another one. Now, damn it,
Americano.
Correct. First of all, you have a megastar in AJ Styles who can spot very, very well. You got Dom, who's like cheating still. What the hell was Americano doing, man? Who signed up for it? I want you to watch.
From under the ring, apparently.
Yeah, look.
With the loaded headlock,
Hello?
El Grande
AJ had to sell it,
Americano.
right?
He sold it.
I mean,
I'm sure a steel plate in the chest, wouldn't feel great, but would it knock me out? No. Come on, man. That's my rant. Like that's what I'm talking about, guys. When I say I'm giving this a 5 because the camera angles are bad, you got a camera front and center right here on Americano. And then he flicks his head back like, yo, it got me on the chin. No, it hit you on the pec, bro. Come on. Like it'd be different if maybe it was Dom. It probably would have hurt Dom, or big ass head JD McDonough probably would have hurt. But that's what pisses me off with this. You're paying good money, man. If you spent $6,400 to go to Indianapolis this month to watch a show, and you were watching them call their spots, or you're seeing that type of stuff, would it not bother you? It would bother me. That's a lot of money. So, this section, question of the day.
We got what? 2 questions?
We got 2 questions, guys. So make sure you hit the email, thewrestlinglounge25@gmail. Let's go.
We'll run through these quick.
Let's go. Yeah, first one coming in from Devilish Gaming over on the TikToker. Random, but I would love to see a video about your favorite wrestlers. And he gives me his, all right? And the match that he listed, unfortunately, I didn't get all the way in there. It was Will Ospreay and somebody else. And it altered things for him. It made him feel a certain type of way. So Rufus and I took to the journal and decided we were going to try this out. We are going over just a little bit tonight, which is fine. But here we go. Rufus, you started off, and I'm going to...
Who is your favorite wrestler? Well, in my opinion, and I'm going to have to do this differently. To say I've got just one, I don't. I think you have to break this up in a segment. So, in my opinion, you got your 80s, your 90s, your 2000s, and then your current. Because each genre in that era had a great wrestler, right? So, for me, in the 80s, I was an Ultimate Warrior fan. He was intense. He had great promos. And
Jey Uso's uncle getting blowed up before he got there.
Well, the roids will do that to you. And he was high energy.
He was.
So in the 80s, the Ultimate Warrior was my favorite. In the 80s, who was, I can only probably imagine, who was your favorite wrestler in the 80s?
I am a real man. I took my vitamins. I said my prayers. I think Hulk Hogan had the biggest dynamic in the world.
He did.
Hogan, Savage, I got to fall in that line somewhere, man. But Hulk Hogan was, I believed in everything because of Hulk Hogan.
Okay. The 90s.
I was just doing my Ultimate Warrior.
The 90s for me was Bret Hart. He was the best technically skilled. He had a great storytelling. And he had a lot of memorable feuds. One was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Steve Austin.
Montreal Screwjob. We all know that one, right?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, of course, the one that got inducted to the Hall of Fame, the match.
Correct.
WrestleMania. That was a great match between those two. So for me in the 90s, it's Bret Hart.
I'll go same.
You can't copy me. You can't do me. Okay, that's your pick?
I think
Okay.
Bret Hart, Ric Flair.
Fair enough.
I like the lie, cheat, and steal. So I'll go Ric Flair. Woo!
Ric Flair didn't do lie, cheat, steal. You're thinking Eddie Guerrero.
He did that. 30th player in the game. Space Mountain, baby. Oldest ride. Longest line.
2000s era. The 2000s era
What?
for me is going to be The Rock.
Oh, bullshit. What?
Best mic skills, best promo, could cut the best promos of them all.
You're
and
welcome.
still to this day, probably has the best mic skills through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and today. I know a lot of people dislike him today, but he was very talented back in the day.
He was super, super talented. My pick, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And guess what? You're welcome, Rock, because Austin gave you the torch, so I'll take the point on that one. What?
Today's era, I think you have to break this up into two segments, male and female. You have got some great female talent out there that you can't say, oh, well, it's all male. Today, this one's very hard for me, but I'll give you my top three. Gunther, great heel. Fatu, great energy. And Logan Paul, baby.
Oh, I should have known.
As far as female goes, Stephanie Vaca and Becky Lynch.
That's 5, by the way. Earthstone math. That's 5. Okay.
Your top three male, or your top male superstars that you enjoy today.
I got to go with Braun Breaker. I believe in Braun Breaker. I really, really do. I think he's got a lot to go in the right direction. And the female side, no brainer, Rufus. Stephanie Becker. I'm going with Tiffy time, baby, because that's my girl. I love that girl.
She's going to lose that belt.
No, she ain't
Yes,
either.
she is.
No.
Yes, she will.
So I hope that helped answer your question on that. Our final question came via email from listener Chad. And his question was to the lounge, how do you think an Attitude Era mix in today's WWE would work, being that AEW kind of has that going on? Could WWE turn Attitude Era and combat AEW? Floor is yours.
No.
I agree. I think
And here's, and I get it, AEW has a little bit of that Attitude Era. I wouldn't really call it Attitude Era that we used to see back in the
But
day.
I think by Attitude Era, they're talking about less filtered. You got Tony Storm sniffing lips and eating chips. I mean,
and here's why I say that is in today's a lot of the and we'll go back to the Becky Lynch CM Punk thing. If he would today's era, no, it wouldn't have worked to be a Stone Cold Steve Austin and drop her in the middle of the ring. Why? Because it'd been offensive. Today's cancel culture, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It would not work. It would not sit well with a ton of people.
look at what Cracker Barrel's going through.
And correct. And the return just wouldn't work. So in my opinion, I don't think you have the talent today that could take that opportunity and run with it. You do. I mean, I mentioned that with LA Knight, turning him into.
But you're
something
talking
like
about
that.
doing a special scenario
Correct.
to get the dynamic to change. If you have only what you have based on the caliber that you have with what the dynamic of people are watching, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I think that there's ways it could work or combat it. Would it be, and then you're going to have all the opinions of guys like us who lived the Attitude Era that wish the Attitude Era still existed. I mean,
or at least have hints of it.
Correct.
I mean, that was my thing with the CM Punk deal. What would have happened if he would have dropped her? The crowd probably would have erupted. They would have loved. Why? You've got one of the, in my opinion, number one heels in WWE gets dropped by a babyface in WWE. So, yes, they would have loved it. But this day and age, you would have had people come out and say, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they had a man. But guys, we all know it's scripted. Just watch season 2 of Unreal and you'll find out. But no, I don't think it would work today. I just That's my opinion.
I do agree. I do think there's some guys there that could help, like a Fatu, or get the Samoans involved. They have a lot of fight and grit to them. But would it work? No, I don't think it would work. And guys, that's going to just about wrap it up for this week's
And
episode of the
if
Lounge.
you guys want to get your question, send us your questions. We'll put it on here. We'll answer it live.
Sure.
Send it over to we got the website or the Gmail up there. You've got us on TikTok, Instagram. Send us your questions, and we'll gladly answer them. So,
Correct.
or comments.
Yeah. And if you want to catch Rufus, catch him over on Pony Express.
Huh.
Guys, that's it for this week's episode of the Lounge. Thank you for the interaction. Thanks for sending in the questions. I think that's going to wrap it up for Bear and Rufus.